So in the previous class, we have started executing automatic payment program. See, we have executed up to this, right? Go back, status shows parameters have been entered. See here. So parameters have been entered. So the first phase is completed. Next one is proposal is to be created. So click on schedule proposal button. This is the schedule proposal. Okay, let us do one thing. Let us start. Let us execute afresh again. F110. Run date is, let us do the today's date. 10/10/2022. Identification feature SSKV. Click on parameters tab. Company code is equal to SSKV. Payment method C. Next payment run date 11/10/2022. Vendor 17003021. Click on additional tab. Select due date check. Select payment method selection all cases. Vendor 17003021. Click on save. Now click on back arrow. See, parameters have been entered. Now click on schedule proposal. Click on schedule proposal. Start date is equal to 10/10/2022. Start date is equal to 10/10/2022. Set to start immediately. So immediately the system creates the proposal. Target computer is equal to press F4 and give your server name. Click on enter. See, it is saying that proposal is running. You have to click on enter till you get the message proposal has been created. Okay. See, payment proposal has been created. So what is the proposal? Proposal means list of vendors, and for every vendor, list of invoices that are going to be paid. So all this information is called proposal. Now, if you want to display a proposal, you can click on display proposal. If you want to edit proposal, you can click on edit proposal, right? So select edit proposal. See, all the accounting clerks was already selected. Means the system will display all the proposals created by all the accounting clerks. Click on enter. See, this is the payment that is going to be done. So for Aki and Company, vendor, right? The total payment is going to be done is 2,50,000. So this 2,50,000 contains only one invoice or number of invoices? We don't know. Here we have only one vendor. That's why that vendor has become, and the system is displaying that vendor only. For this vendor, it is going to make a payment of 2,50,000. Now, I want to see whether this 2,50,000 contains only one invoice or multiple invoices. Right? For that, double click on line item. Double click on line item of vendor number. Please add it. Double click on the line item of vendor number. To display the list of invoices that are going to be paid. To display the list of invoices that are going to be paid. See, if you double click on this line item, for the vendor 17003021, it is going to make a payment of 2 invoices. One invoice for 1,50,000, another invoice for 1 lakh. So the system is going to make a payment to this vendor for these 2 invoices. Now, double click again, continue. Double click again on the required line item and block the payment if necessary. Look at the scheme. Suppose, for example, I want to block this second invoice, right? In that case, double click on this line item and you can enter the blocking reason. A. Suppose, see, if you press on F4, right? These are called blocking reasons. So if you enter A, the system will block the payment only for this invoice, right? That too, in this payment run only, the system will block the invoice from the payment run, right? Do one thing. Some space is here, right? Please write down. If the invoice is blocked, at the payment run level, if the invoice is blocked at the payment run level, at the payment program level, that blocking is applicable. Only for that run. That blocking is applicable only for that run. Means, say for example, we are executing the automatic payment program now, right? So I block the invoice now. Then again, in the evening, again we are executing the automatic payment program. Then the system again selects that invoice into automatic payment program. So if you block the invoice at the automatic payment program level, that blocking is applicable only for that run, right? Next, point number two. If the invoice is blocked, by entering the blocking reason, in F-53, F-43, in F-43 or the FB60, that invoice will not be selected. In all the payment runs, till that blocking reason is removed. I will show you all these things. Next, number 3. If the blocking reason is entered, in the vendor master record, then all the invoice of that vendor, will not be selected in all the future payment runs. Till that blocking reason is removed. From that vendor master record. Here, this I will show you, right? After we execute this automatic payment program. So here, I am not blocking this invoice, right? Just I have shown you how to block. Then click on reallocate button. So if you click on the reallocate button, we can change the payment method, we can change the house bank, we can change the account type. So here I am not doing anything. Click on see, saving is unnecessary. We have not changed anything. Now go back twice. Come to proposal screen. 1, 2. Come to proposal screen. See, suppose if you want to, right, sometimes what happens, the system will not print the check. In that case, this is the error you may get, right? In that case, you can click on this proposal log. This is called proposal log. So if you click on this proposal log, the system will give you the detailed proposal, right? So, and also it contains the reason. If the system has not printed the check, the system will give you the reason here. So by going to this proposal log, you can understand the reasons for the errors. Then accordingly, you can rectify the errors. So click on, go back twice, come to proposal screen. Click on payment run button. This is called payment run. Then start date was taken automatically and start event was also automatically selected, right? So click on enter. Then go to printout data medium tab. This one. RFFOS_C means check. So this is the check format, right? Variant is equal to SSKV. Variant is equal to SSKV. Click on maintain variants. After clicking on maintain variants, please add one sentence there. Select for all selection schemes radio button. Please add it. Select for all selection schemes radio button. Click on continue. Program run date is equal to 10/10/2022. Identification feature SSKV. Identification feature is equal to SSKV. Then paying company code is equal to SSKV. Business area SSKV. House bank SBIM. House bank SBIM. Account ID SBIC. Chocolate number 1. Under print control, select to print checks. Printer is equal to LP01. Select to print immediately. Select to print to payment advice notes. Printer LP01. Select to print immediately. Again, select to print to payment summary. Printer is equal to LP01. Select to print immediately. Means the system will print the checks, payment advice, payment summary on this printer. Number of sample printouts 0. Number of sample printouts 0. Then select do not void any checks. Then click on attributes tab. Description is equal to SSKV. Click on save. Click on back arrow. Again save. Then click on back arrow. See, you can see that posting orders 1 generated, 1 completed. Means 1 check has been printed. Now, click on printout data medium tab. So this one, click on printout tab, not data medium, printout tab. Again, start immediately was selected already, and start date was also automatically taken by the system, today's date. Now here job name. In the job name, you can see 1 question mark, right? In the place of question mark, you have to enter 1 name for the job. So what is the job here? Printing job. So system creates 1 printing job, which contains the printing of checks, Printing of payment advice, printing of payment summary. So for that job, we have to give one name. We can give any name, just like they have given SSK, nothing else. Click on enter and save. Now, a printing job has been scheduled. Till now the checks are not printed. So when the checks will be printed, whenever the job is executed. Whenever the printing job is executed, the system will print the checks, right? So to see the checks, system services output control execute. Go to menu, system services output control. So here the system is going to show you all the jobs created by the user on this date in this client. So click on execute. See, 3 spool numbers have been generated. What is the spool number? Right on there. Spool stands for sequential, preferential operation online. Spool stands for sequential preferential operation online. So spool number means just it's a printing request number, nothing else. So 3 printing requests have been generated. So first one is payment method for India. So payment method for India means check, then payment advice, then payment summary. So first let us select the spool number check. Select the spool number of the check. Please add it. Click on display content. This is the display content. See here, company, Aki and Company, right? Dear sir, madam, we have settled the items listed below with the enclosed check for the payment 4,14,000. That is the payment document number. Subject the goods and services supplied and the invoice therefore being in order. We are sending you a separate payment advice for the document 4,14,000 from 10/10/2022 to explain the invoice items. See here, check is 2,50,000. This is the check number. This is the account number. This is the bank IFSC code. Right? So amount in figures, amount in words. So here the system has printed only one check. Right? Even though there are 2 invoices, the system has printed only one check. We have selected single payment per market item in the second step where we assign the payment method to company. There we have selected single payment per market item. But still the system has printed only one check for 2 invoices. Why? Because here, if you want the system to print the invoices, to print the checks invoice wise, right? We have to select the single payment for market at the configuration level, and also the user has to enter the payment method check at the time of posting invoice. But at the time of posting invoices, we did not enter the payment method, right? That's why this system has printed only one check. Clear? Then click on back arrow. Select the payment advice. Click on display content. See, company, Aki and Company. See, we have settled the following items with the check number 104. Subject to the goods and services supplied and the invoice therefore being in order. So this is the invoice document number, date of the invoice, cash discount is 0, gross amount 1,50,000. This is the second invoice document number, date of invoice is 7/10/2022, cash discount is also 0, gross amount 1 lakh. So total sum total paid 2,50,000. This is the payment advice. Click on back arrow. Then select the payment summary. Click on display content. See. Account item, account name 17003021, Aki and Company, right? 2,50,000. So in this payment run, right, we have paid only one vendor, right? And the company core total amount is 2,50,000. So this is the automatic payment program. Now all the accounting functions should have been taken care. The check register should have been updated automatically, right? So display check register. Write down the transaction code. FCHM. Paying company code is equal to SSKV. House bank is equal to SBIM. And one step is not there, please add it again. Account ID, SBIC. Account ID, SBIC. Click on execute. See here. Check number 104, payment document number 4,14,000. So this check was issued towards the payment document number this. Payment date is this. Amount paid 2,50,000. Recipient is Aki and Company. Clear? Now verify whether invoice is paid. If you go to FBL1N, there should not be any open items in the vendor account. See. Company code SSKV. Click on it. See, no item selected. Okay. Open key date we have given 10/10/10 today. 10/10/2020. Right? So today there is any open items. If you select cleared items, you can see see 2,50,000. Here 1,50,000 invoice, 1 lakh is the invoice. So both the invoices have been cleared. Now, if you go to vendor account, right, the balance should be 0. It's not FS00, FK10M. FK10M. If you go to FK10M, vendor balance should be 0. See, balance is 0. This is how we can execute the automatic payment. Now, the next topic is terms of payment, cash discount. See, till now we have been using the payment terms 0001, which stands for payment immediate. So that 0001 payment terms was already defined the system. Now we will see how to define our own payment terms with the discount terms. Then when you make the payment to vendor, right, according to the payment terms, he will give some cash discount. So that cash discount is to be automatically transferred to cash discount received account by the system. That is the function what we are going to see now. So the payment terms functionalities, the payment terms are used to determine the due date for the purchase invoice and the sales invoice. So using the payment terms, the system will determine the due date for purchase invoice in accounts payable and the sales invoice in account receivables. Then to calculate the cash discount received in accounts payable and cash discount paid in account receivables, and to determine the dunning date in account receivable. So what is the dunning date? I will explain you in account receivables. Probably we start the account receivable day after tomorrow. By tomorrow, accounts payable will be over. Day after tomorrow, we start the account receivable. Now let us see how to create our own payment terms. Transaction code OBB8. Here you can read the transaction code. After the path, you can read the transaction code OBB8. So these are the payment terms which have been already created. Click on New Entries. Payment terms is equal to SSKV. Sales text is 20 days 3%, 30 days 2%, 45 days unit. 45 days unit. It is only description of the payment terms. Then under the account type, select the customer and vendor, right? Right down there. by selecting customer and vendor, by selecting customer and vendor, we can use these payment terms. We can use these payment terms both for vendors and customers. Say, for example, if you want to use this payment terms only for accounts payable vendors, then you deselect customer. But normally, right, we create every payment terms as it can be used both for vendors and customers. Then default baseline date, select no default. Default baseline date, select no default. Here some space is there, right? Please write down. Baseline date. Baseline date. It is the date. It is the date from which the credit period is calculated. From which the credit period is calculated to determine the due date. To determine the due date. The baseline date is defaulted. The baseline date is defaulted from the payment terms master record. From the payment terms master record. There are 4 options available. There are 4 options available for the default baseline date. There are 4 options are available for the default baseline date. See, look at the scheme. Here, default for baseline date. So these are the 4 options, right? Right now. Number 1, no default. Number 1, no default. If this option is selected, the system will not default. The system will not default any baseline date. The user has to enter manually. The user has to enter manually. The user has to enter manually. Next, number 2. Posting date. If this option is selected, then posting date will be defaulted as baseline date. That is the credit period is calculated. That is the credit period is calculated from the posting date to determine the due date. Okay. Next, document date. Number 3, document date. If this option is selected, then the document date is defaulted as baseline date. That is, the credit period is calculated. That is, the credit period is calculated from the document date. To determine the due date. Now, so what is the difference if you take the posting date as baseline date and the document date as baseline date? Let us take one example. See, we placed one order with the vendor in Mumbai, right? So the vendor has dispatched the goods on 5/10/2022, right? So whenever the vendor dispatches the goods, he prepares the purchase invoice. On the purchase invoice, he puts this date, right? This date is called document date. Okay. Then today we have received the material, and today we posted the entry in the system. This is called posting date, right? So vendor has given 30 days credit. Vendor is given 30 days credit, right? Now, if you take the document date as baseline date, then this 30 days is calculated from 5/10/2020. So in that case, we have to make the payment to vendor on 4/11/2020. But when did you get the material? On 10th only. So you are making the payment, right? 4 days before or 5 days before. It's not acceptable to us. In that case, if you take posting date as baseline date, 30 days is calculated from the 10th October. So you have to make the payment on 9th November. Now you think as a vendor, you are dispatching the goods on 5/10/2022, but you are getting the payment on 9/11. Means you have given 34 days credit. So you are getting the payment 4 days delay. So it is not acceptable to you. So in that case, which date is taken as baseline date? Remember, normally the business tradition is always we take the baseline date as document date only. Always we take the document date only as baseline date. Okay, that's the business custom. Next, continue. Next point, entry date. If this option is selected, the entry date within brackets system date will be defaulted as baseline date. That is, the credit period is calculated. From the entry date to determine the due date. Okay. So in our class, I'm selecting no default. Now, term is equal to 1, percentage 3, number of days 20. Means if you make the payment in 20 days, we get 3% cash discount. Then percentage 2, number of days 30. Means if you make the payment in 30 days, we get 2% cash discount. Then number of days 45. So if you make the payment in 45 days, you don't get any cash discount. Click on save. Now write down the table name T052. T052. Now we have to create one GL account, cash discount received account. In your material, cash discount only is there, right? You make it as cash discount received. Transaction code FS00. This cash discount received I'm taking as part of other incomes. So GL account is 3,120,000. Company code is equal to SSKV. Go to menu GL account create. Account group other incomes. Select P&L statement account. Short text is equal to cash discount received account. Short text is equal to cash discount received account. GL account long text is also cash discount received account. Go to control data tab. Account currency INR. Select only balances in local currency. Select line item display. Sort key 001. Then go to create bank interest tab. Field status group G001. Click on save. Then assign cash discount account for automatic postings. OBXU. Cash discount received account. Assignment of cash discount received account for automatic postings. Transaction code OBXU. Chart of accounts SSKV. Click on enter. See, the cash discount received is identified with one key SKE. This SKE transaction was already defined the system. So for the SKE, we are going to assign the GL account. Click on save. The account is 3,120,000. Click on save. Then let us see how to use these payment terms. Purchase invoice posting, F-43. Document date is 10/10/2022. Type is KR. Company code SSKV. Posting date 10/10/2022. Period 7. Currency INR. Posting is 31. Account is 17003021. Account is 17003021. Click on enter. The amount is 10,000. Business area. SSKV. Payment terms SSKV. Within brackets. Own payment terms created. Own payment terms created with the discount terms. Next being goods sold. Sorry, goods purchased. Next being goods purchased. Posting key 40. Account is 2,120,000. Click on. See, terms of payment change will check. Means here we have assigned the payment terms 000 on the vendor master record, right? But here we have assigned the payment terms SSK. That's why the system is giving one warning message. The system wants to verify whether you are changing the payment terms intentionally by mistake. If you change the payment terms by mistake, you can rectify this. But you are changing the payment terms intentionally, right? So we can ignore the warning message. The amount is asterisk. Business area SSKV. Text plus. Click on save. Now, let us assume that we have made the payment today itself. So on this invoice, cash discount is there, right? So at the time of making the payment to vendor, the accountant will verify whether there is any cash discount, right? So if the cash discount is there, he will reduce the cash discount, and for the remaining amount only, he will issue the check. So M-50. Document date is 10/10/2022. Type is case, right? Company code SSKV. Posting date 10/10/2022. Period 7. Currency INR. Under bank data, account is 2,101,000. Business area SSKV. Amount 9,700. Within brackets. Invoice amount 10,000. Within brackets. Invoice amount 10,000. Minus 3%. Minus 3%. Cash discount received. Minus 3% cash discount received. As defined in the payment terms. So everything else is same. Text being payment to vendor. Text being payment to vendor. Under the open selection, account is 17003021. Click on process open items. Look at the screen. Here, invoice amount is 10,000. The amount entered is 9,700. And the cash discount 300 was taken by the system automatically. Why? In this case, the tolerance goods for vendors will come into picture. See? In the vendor master record, right? We have tolerance good blank. Okay, then we have defined the blank tolerance goods for vendors. OBA 3. Company code SSKV. So for the blank tolerance group, payment difference you have, permitted payment difference you have given, gain 1,000, loss 1,000. So the payment difference is less than 1,000 rupees. So system has taken it to automatically cash discounted. Clear, no? So you can clear after normally. Keep the corresponding amount entered. Double click on invoice amount. Click on save. See, cash discount is in the blue color line item and posting key 50. So cash discount is created with 300 rupees. So whenever you see any blue color line item, you have to understand that some information is due there, right? So double click on the blue line item. Text being cash discount received. Click on. Then purchase document. This we will see in tomorrow's class. Any questions from anybody?
Hello, sir. Bhairav here.
Bhairav.
Sir, is there any another method of discount like 3% you have given? You have calculated manually 300. So if I post 3% directly and it will automatically calculate, is there any method for that?
If you make the payment to vendor through automatic payment program, right? System automatically reduces the 3%.
Okay.
If you make the payment to vendor through automatic payment program, then the system will reduce the 3% cash discount automatically, and for the remaining amount only it will print the check.
So you have manually entered 9,700, right?
Yes, I have manually entered. This is the manual payment.
Okay. So first we have to calculate 3%, then we have to enter manually.
Then yes. Yeah, Manju, tell me.
Yeah, sir, my account validity is expired, it seems. SAP, can you please?
Yeah, I will do it after the class.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, it's me, Nirosha.
Yeah, Nirosha, tell me.
Sir, we have created a cash discount method. No, sir, it's like not discount. It's like 20%, 30% or so. That we can be assigned to a particular vendor. So that if now the vendor is 17003021, so that if that payment term is assigned to that vendor, then no need to calculate manually, no, sir.
Yes, exactly. I forgot to tell you this point. See, if you assign these payment terms in the vendor master record, right? Then the system automatically defaults that payment terms at the time of posting the invoice.
So how to assign that, sir? It's like so that we can create many payment terms and I can
Next page 01, right? While creating the vendor master record, under the company code data, already we have assigned 0001. But
yes,
now,
sir.
Yeah, here you can assign SSKV. What is that?
Okay.
Right.
Then it's like for all the payments, future payments, whatever we do for the vendor master vendors, then automatically it will be calculated based on the number of days calculation, and the discount will be calculated.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
So this is Joshna, sir. If there is any TDS or a GST, where we have to
cover later, GST. GST will cover later.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. The MM and SD also is to be completed. MM and SD integrations also have to be completed.
Hello?
Yeah, Ravi.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So I'm just trying to understand how this cash discount is transferred to the GL account that we created, and how it is
linked. Saying the GL account in OPX, you know. In OPXU, we have assigned a GL account.
Okay.
So whenever the payment difference is less than, the tolerance limit value, the system takes that cash discount to the GL account 3,120,000.
Okay, automatically. Okay. Thank you.
Ravi?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, Nirosha.
Sir, if the difference amount is more than 1,000, then the balance amount will be carried forward to the balance sheet account, right?
Yes, exactly.
So for that also we need to create an
Shown as
account.
a liability. It will be shown as a balance in the vendor account, right? Then at the time of preparation of balance sheet, that will be transferred to balance sheet.
Okay, directly it will be transferred and there is no required to create any account for that.
No account need to create.
And now the transfer, the balance which is transferred less than 1,000, it will be transferred to P&L account.
Yes.
Okay. For that, we are creating an account.
Yes.
So it will be separately displayed as a cash discount receipt.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir.
In the balance sheet, sir?
In the balance sheet, there is no dues, no.
Oh, sir.
The dues is there, that will be shown in the balance sheet. Okay. Manju, what is your user ID?
Sir, MANJU.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.